Oh, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. It feels pretty good. We got a snowstorm going outside here in Toronto on April the 2nd. It's something else. We live in Canada, folks. It's pretty cold here in the winter, so we get a lot of stuff done. We get a lot of songwriting done. Oh, yeah, so the song we're going to talk about today, Russ, is called Never, Never. And this is kind of a rock and roll thing, like we're feeling pretty rock and roll here today. I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking, wow, I wanted a song that had a bit of swagger to it, and I've been, over the years, I've been heavily influenced by British rock, having grown up in Europe. I lived in England when I was 6 to 10 years old, and I lived in Germany for 4 years. I wanted to write a song that kind of had a bit of swagger like that. And, so I was doodling around on the old guitar. Let's pick up this Telecaster here. I was doodling around on the old guitar one day, and I was just sort of fooling around with this thing.
Never, never, don't say no. She's heavy weather on the go. Never, never, don't say no. She's heavy weather on the go. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
So the song started just like that. I had the guitar riff and just the basic chorus. And then as it developed, I came up with some more words. And I basically was writing a song about a strong, beautiful woman, who could kind of get anything she wanted because she's so strong and beautiful, intelligent and brash, and has a bit of swagger and very confident and very strong. And this song is kind of about that. It's for strong women everywhere, actually, this song. I had some words I came up with.
You're so adventurous, leading the rest of us. You're a natural born leader, doing as you please, you take no prisoners. Constantly on the go, burning the petrol. Constantly on the go, burning the petrol. You got a restless nature, nothing coming at you.
Something like that. So we're really going for the rock and roll today, and that's the basic feel of the song, called Never Never. It's one of the songs off Volume 2 on High Vibrations, my new record that just came out. So here we are at the computer, and here's what that guitar sounded like. I put it through this Stadium Spread Logic guitar amp. Had a nice stereo spread and it sounded real big, I was thinking stadium rock. Right? So then there's the other part that comes in. That gives you an idea of the main guitar and the vocals that the song came from. It was all built up based on those two elements. And
what other guitars did you add?
So I was laying down some Tiny Monster guitar through this incredibly dirty sounding rock and roll amp. You combine that with the stadium rock guitar in it. stuff. And then there's also this kind of a honky-tonk driver guitar that I recorded. And it's just like short jabs. You know, I was always a fan of the White Album. All the guitars on the White Album by the Beatles just blow my mind. The stuff on Helter Skelter and other songs, just these cutting, biting guitar bits that would just come in once in a while. So you know, so I was laying down a bit of honky-tonk guitar, honky drive. Here we go.
That's definitely raw.
Pretty raw.
What about bass?
Oh yeah, so there's a little bit of bass. You want me to pick up the bass for this, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the bass part was like this. You know, I laid down that bass part, and I had a couple of drum things I was using for the loopage, and I was using this. This is the kind of driving beat I wanted. It something that was really up, and I laid down a bit of bass, right? So I laid down a bit of drum stuff. Just basic Logic loop, a bar band, basic drum set Logic loop. Added a bit of percussion to it. Moving along with some tambourine. I just used that drum loop to write with, to lay down the bass part until I had it down, and then I laid down the stereo guitar with the bass part to the drum loop. Then I thought, I'm only using drum loops usually to write with, and then we had Great Bob Scott come in the studio, my brethren, Great Bob Scott, and he came. Did he come into Sunray Studio, Russ?
It was Sunray Studio who came down, and I think we have some video footage of him actually.
Went to Long and McQuaid, rented a drum kit, and set it up in your living room.
That's right.
With a bunch of mics and stuff. It was the first time we'd done that at the Sunray Studio. We just thought we'd try it out, and it worked out great. So we got Great Bob Scott to come in, and he was laying down some of the other tracks, like he was laying down the drums for Storms A Comin', and he also laid down some tracks for Never Never. So let's have a listen to Bob now. Let's go over here and have a listen to Bob's raw tracks. Bob's just such a wonderful drummer and just a great human being. So here's Bob. These are just the raw tracks you're listening to. There's not anything going on special with the EQ or anything. All right, so here we got the bass. Bring that in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. There was some stuff that I laid down. I was playing the Korg oscillator on my phone, on the touchpad on my phone. I've got this Korg K oscillator that I often whip out, and I just love that thing. So I have some res acid saw sound, and I put this at the beginning. It's just like a drone tone.
It does have good tone. I couldn't believe it.
Right? Some fluty sounds. Let's have a listen to those.
Did you do all the vocals here, or?
Yeah, I did all the vocals here on this microphone, actually, the Shure SM7B microphone.
Never, can't say no. She's heavy weather on the go. Never, can't say no. She's heavy weather on the go. You're so adventurous, leading the rest of us. You're a natural born leader, doing as you please, you take no prisoners.
Some other stuff I laid down.
You can have everything you want. You know just how to turn it on. You can have everything you want. You know just how to turn it on.
I was using this, I really like this empty church reverb that comes with Logic. It's just this beautiful. That reverb. And I also used it at the beginning here on these parts.
Nice.
Just juicy reverb.
Really nice.
Just kick some Bobby in.
Constantly on the go, burning the petrol. You've got a restless nature, nothing coming at you, got it all under control.
That was great Bob Scott on the drums. And that's basically all the raw tracks, you know, like this is basically all the stuff that I gave to Russ Goozee to mix at Sunray Studios for the final version of the song Never Never. You know, part of the reason I was playing all this stuff myself is because we were recording this during the pandemic, and you know, there was nobody around, so kind of by default, you know, normally I would have got other people in right off the top and done some tracks live off the floor with them at a studio somewhere, but we kind of had some restrictions in place, so you know, it was my opportunity to get to learn Logic really well and get familiar with it, and I'm extremely grateful for that experience. And you know, this whole making of this record was just basically a record that I'd made differently from any other record I'd ever made. Usually I've got the drums and bass and guitar recorded live off the floor, and then I come home and layer up tracks after that. But this, a lot of the songs, I was having the drums come in at the end of the song, which is very different from the other albums I've done previously. Yeah, Jono Grant did the mastering for this song over at Victory Drive Music. Thanks for joining us today. It looks like the snowstorm has stopped for now out there. It was really coming down earlier. It was quite something, eh, Russ?
Yeah, man.
Well, that's why we're inside today doing this podcast, because we don't want to be outside walking around in that kind of stuff. And it's only April the 2nd here in Toronto. But, you know, I appreciate you for being here, and it's been a real fun time sharing this stuff with you, these little musical elements for the song Never Never. So we're going to leave you today with the mastered version of Never Never. And we'll see you again next time.
Never, can't say no. She's heavy weather on the go. Never, can't say no. She's heavy weather on the go. You're so adventurous, leading the rest of us. You're a natural born leader, doing as you please, you take no prisoners. Constantly on the go, burning the petrol. know just how to turn it on. You can't have everything you want. You know just how to turn it on. Know just how to turn it on.